Black again. Truly, these are the days, the last and evil days, we have in Babylon. When I was a youth, I used to read about Sodom and Gomorrah, and how Sodom and Gomorrah get, burned down for, evil, you know, homosexuality, murder, killing, extortion, oppression, all forms of evil, So even in this time, thousands of years later, we see the American government and the Europe government, Chinese government, enough governments around the world, legalize homosexuality, and promoting abortion and, what I mean, there's so much rape and murder and, so when you look out the windows of time, yeah, when you look out the windows of time and you look at the time that we living in, is truly like unto the days of Sodom. And the great scriptures say, in the last days, the wickedness of the earth can come into the nostril of God. Now that's metaphorically speaking, because it means, in the sense of the scent of someone's sins, it reach the awareness of someone's nostrils, through our senses. So it's basically saying the sins of the earth has come to the mind of God, to consider. Because when you look at the story of Sodom, you see, the Lord and two angels, they went to Abraham to seek if it was true. You see, that there was a land, Sodom, and Gomorrah, that is keeping up these abominations. And the Lord sat with Abraham, and he told Abraham, if he find in Sodom and Gomorrah, 10 people, that reject, the ways and the liberty, or, of the people in the country, he will save the country. But he didn't find none. Only Lot, Abraham's nephew, and his children, his two children, escaped, the whole fiery condemnation of Sodom. And even in this time, when you look around the earth, most people are agreeing with the homosexual community. Most people are agreeing with abortion and murder and rape and extortion and prostitution. A lot of the sisters, they blame it on their children. Oh, I have my children, so I have to do whatever I have to do for my children. I mean, come on. It's just, you see the immorality. You see the strip clubs and the liquor stores, and the pornography stores, all on the street corners everywhere. You could see the sodomy. You start to see two girls holding hands and kissing in public, and two men holding hands and hugging and making love, romantic gestures in public. And you be like, hold on now. How is this possible? You in a real lifetime. This ain't no movie. It's not a tape recorder. It's just not a GFI. It's real life. And you be like, how is this possible? That the world openly practicing ungodliness with no fear. No fear of no judgment. They literally saying that we're right, we're doing the right, and no one will judge us, and we're going to be fine. That's amazing. That's amazing. Because the Bible did say in the last days, it'll be better for the days of the people of Sodom and Gomorrah than it'll be for people in this last day, when the sins of the earth reach into the nostrils of God. In the nostrils of God, it shows it's the highest sense of understanding what's going on. And God see universally that the whole world, United Nations, is accepting these abominations, these homosexual abominations, all these wickedness. You see? So through this, it's now time the king and judge the earth. Yeah, plagues and famine and floods, and we all think all these things coming from. They ain't coming from CERN. They ain't coming from China. They ain't coming from the Russian government, American government. It's coming from nature. It's coming from God. The floods internationally, the stars falling from the sky and crashing into Russia, crashing into China, crashing into the earth, you see? Yeah, they call them asteroids. You know what I mean? All these different events happening. They call it global warming. You know, global warming. This is judgment for homosexuality, for murder, for extortion, for oppression, for aggression. All the evil in the earth today is just like in the days of Sodom. What's the coincidence? And just as in the days of Sodom, hail fall from the sky and kill and destroy, and fire burn and heat the land and scorch the land and cause the people to sell all their cow, and all the cows dead from lack of water, and all the rivers drying up. This is the same thing happened to Sodom. Only thing, Sodom was a small city. Gomorrah was a town. They were a small individual city. But the whole world become as the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah, it's very few people. It's a remnant of God people around there who saying, no, these things wrong. And these people gonna have to pay for it. I is one of them. You see, so I just want to speak on these things in this time and say this is the last days. This is the evil times. And during these times, I calling for all the saints. You know, continue to read your Psalms. Continue to pray. Continue to stay in Emmanuel way. You know, continue to follow Exodus 20, Exodus 31. You know, these the laws, the book of Leviticus. You know what I mean? Yeah, remember the scriptures that I give us. Deuteronomy 28. You know what I mean? The man give us, you know, the Psalms, you know. The man give us the revelation, you know. Yeah, the man give us the word, you know what I mean? So we could live through these times. We wouldn't be looking left and confused and wondering what is right and whose side we should choose, what we should allow and what we should not allow. All of this is written right down. You know, when the Father come teach us, King Emmanuel come teach us. That's why the Bible could never be destroyed. Because it's an ancient teachings, you know, for us black people, for the world at large, that come from all throughout history. You know, it was first written in Kemet, because Kemet is the first place. Egypt was the first place they had the papyrus papers. That's the first place they really start to carve, you know, glyphs to turn, you know, word song into an actual written language. You see, so that's where the folklore, you know, the glory of the Bible, you know, was compiled and told, you know what I mean, and brought together on different scripts that even were, you know, written, you know, in the Middle East, in the Mediterranean, you know, areas, you know what I mean? So it was a collection of our African glory, you know, and they call it the Bible. Black again. So all black people out there, all universal people out there, all people listening to the sound of my voice, you know, I must free myself from Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, I must live Yahweh, you know, don't approve them and love myself in this time, you know. Live long, don't live wrong. Bind sodomite, you know, and all them things there, you know. They're in the ways of God. They're the ways of the evil world, said the Most High. Last year, Jah Rastafari, black again.